halfway there. Oh no, it's my Wednesday vibe. I'm trying to. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Feeling it.
I didn't know.
Yo, it's Odin's Day. Yo, if you're a fan of the channel, you know I love me some Wednesdays because you're halfway there, ladies and gentlemen. You're almost there to the weekend. Congratulate yourself that you made it halfway through the weekend. You are still alive. You have still held it together, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you have made it. That's why I absolutely love Wednesdays. That's why I'm fired up. Another reason why I'm fired up is, yo, you didn't catch yesterday. We had an amazing special guest along with me. I'm going to introduce her in a hot moment, but first, hello nerds, and welcome to GeekBeast. This is your daily rundown of geek news that look like you, geeks that look like me, and geeks that look like this magnificent, incredible, multi-talented individual, Courtney Wright. How you doing over here?
Hi. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, got you for back-to-backs. Word? Is it like what's going on? Is it my birthday?
No, who knew?
Yo, hey, in case you don't know, you've been living under a rock. Absolutely multi-talented. One of the co-hosts of the Geekish Network's Crown Jewels. Yo, binge-worthy to me. Of course, I know. I'm absolutely biased because of my love for Bingeworthy, but she's also on Origins Illustrated, which is another magnificent show as well. One's on Wednesdays, the other's on Tuesdays. Just please make sure and once you see her light shine on this show, you'll understand why we got her. And so if you do the show, we're going to cover the news, the geek news beat, and we're going to share our opinions with you. As you can see, we are both highly melanated, and we're going to give you a highly melanated viewpoint of the geek world that we are involved with, mostly diving through Twitter streams and news feeds. Now, listen, let me just warn you and be clear. We are doing this as more of a just entertainment value kind of thing. None of these sources that we are going through have been properly vetted, and neither are our opinions. This is just to keep you in the know with all of the big stuff that's going on. In case you haven't know, I am your host, Centel. We can go ahead and get started. Yo, anything else you want to drop in here before we get started? Hold on, I do want to kind of bring up something. So we had like some two interesting shows kind of recently appear, and that is Moon Knight and Halo. Moon Knight's last episode premiered last night, and it was episode 2. And Halo's episode 3 is coming on this evening. Are you watching any of them, or kind of like side-eyeing both of them, or maybe one and one?
I am watching them. I am enjoying Moon Knight. I did not know what to expect. Didn't know if I was going to like it, but I am. I'm really surprised. I think the writing and the acting is incredible. You know, I don't even know. I was on. I think I was scared because the last few properties haven't wowed me. But fantastic. But I have one caveat to Moon Knight, and
really?
It's just nitpicky.
Do tell.
Nitpicky.
Okay.
We are set in a character who has found his way to the Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
Couldn't I get a black villain? Couldn't I get an African villain? I mean, it's the Egyptian gods. Egypt is in Africa. And don't get me wrong, Ethan Hawke is doing a fantastic job. He is slaying. I can't take that from him.
True.
Hey, Auntie. Auntie, can I get a black person? That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I definitely feel you in a lot of those ways. I do. I really do. The thing about like Egyptian lore is that there's it's always kind of like been a toss-up as to how these Egyptians are going to look, even though they are in Africa. They are in northern Africa, and the continent as a whole has different shades and variations of Black people. So I feel you, because I always want to see somebody that looks like me in representation in a situation like that. But I also kind of have to be like, well, there are a lot of different variations of what we look like on that continent. So, but I do feel you. I do feel you, though.
No, I kind of understand in terms of like what the Asian community felt like when the new Iron Fist dropped. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
I understand the question. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
It's not a like, I hate it. I love it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And and Oscar Isaacs is killing it. I'm jealous of Oscar Isaacs because he gets to really jump into a lot of different variations in one project, living different variations of himself. And so far, the two that he's brought to us so far has been like really, really good.
Slayed. They slayed. And it's every actor's dream. Play character with like a dissociative identity character. The last time we saw it was James McAvoy in Split, and so he has some big shoes to follow because McAvoy slayed that.
Yes, he did.
He did. In terms of Halo, I'm having fun.
Okay.
I didn't play the game. I wanted, and I'm going to post a video. I just recorded a video for my channel, but I want that beginning of episode 2 to be a ride at Universal. There were so many moments in that asteroid belt where I was with Quan, you know what I'm saying? Same with the ride through with Soren, Bokeem Woodbine, like that whole train ride. That's another ride, you know what I'm saying? It's another part of the ride.
Way to blow the dust off Bokeem Woodbine. I'm just happy he's got the work. And he's still, there's something interesting that he always brings. A part of him kind of always plays himself, but then there's always something about himself that's always eye-catching, interesting to the screen. So just, at least we, got that person of color. And Halo is highly melanated, like low key. Like it's a lot of people of color on that show. All right, let's go ahead and hop back into the news. I just wanted to kind of like jump into a little bit of the stuff that's happening like right now. Hey, we did talk a bit about Oscar Isaacs and his ragtag group of rebels trying to fight the evil empire. Well, there's been a lot of infighting amongst Star Wars purists regarding some of the characters, and one of those characters is Finn. Man, Finn Poe has been I think he's been disrespected, and we're getting a chance to see a little bit of that disrespect, like canonized. What's up?
But Finn Poe is Poe Dameron, and Finn, they're shipping.
They're two totally different things. I kind of put into that. I meant to say Finn. Excuse me. The X.
I was just helping.
No, you're right. The clarity is absolutely necessary. So some of the things and some of the problems I personally had with the storyline is going to be a part of canon, and a lot of that is due to the Lego Star Wars game that has just come out, which is absolutely an amazing game, by the way. Sony's just killing it, those Lego Star Wars games. Well, anyways, so now that the relationship that Finn had with his other counterpart, oh my God, what's her name? Oh my gosh,
Rey.
There was like a forced relationship that kind of didn't happen. Well, not even forced. It was a relationship that just didn't happen. People were kind of expecting a little bit more out of Finn. There's a big one for me, but I'm not gonna voice my gripes. I'd rather hear from you regarding the portrayal of Finn and now how a lot of those actions are going to be portrayed in canon and in games such as Lego Star Wars.
Well, I look forward to playing Lego Star Wars game. Just everything that you said makes it sound epically fun. In terms of the Finn and Poe, I love the idea that they're finding a place for Finn, because that is something that you and I share a problem with, that Finn never had a place in the Star Wars universe. They made you believe he was going to be a Jedi, and then he was not a Jedi. And then he had a relationship with Rey, but it stalled. And then they tried to put Rey with Poe. She just doesn't have chemistry with anyone. So she has chemistry with Chewie. Oh, I think we should just keep her as the new Han Solo, put her and Chewie together and make that work. And then Finn and Poe can have their own adventures, because obviously people had feelings about him and Rose. So if you like Finn and Poe, I want these two people to have, Oscar Isaac's not in danger of not having a job, but John Boyega, let's get him a seat on the ship.
Y'all feel so disrespected about John Boyega. I was really excited because I was a super fan of Attack the Block when he was a kid. I think he was only like 17, 18 years old when he did Attack the Block. But it was like one of the very first time I saw his British chops come to the States, and he was absolutely just really good. It was a lot of fun, and I was like, oh man, we get to bring that kind of energy to the Star Wars universe. He didn't really bring that kind of energy. Yeah, he was a little soft and timid and weak, and then we were like, okay, well maybe we saw him in a poster board holding a lightsaber. We were like, oh my God, are we gonna maybe see him become a Jedi? No, that didn't happen at all.
No, he had a saber in the snow. He had a sad fight with Kylo Ren in the snow that can't really be called a fight. But I was hoping that was his introduction. He's gonna find some Force and potentially be a Jedi. And he did not find any Force. So
no. Yeah, I mean, and then like worst come to worst, we were like, well, can we have a good relationship? Maybe, then we bring in Rose and
folks got mad.
Folks, so it's like Finn can't have nothing, huh? I can't, no Jedi, can't. No, he couldn't barely.
Not even Rand was demoted to be an assistant. He was barely a stormtrooper, and then she got demoted. He was like General Organa's handler. What? Poor girl.
Yeah, and then like he was the very first intergalactic janitor. Big shout outs to Johnny Randolph in the chat for saying that. We didn't even know there was janitors in the Star Wars universe. But when Finn got introduced, he let you know I was the janitor. I was like, damn, can you get any further down at the bottom of the barrel of the Star Wars duties? Like, he's just.
He couldn't have even been a rebel. He couldn't have been a batch. Could he have been a Bad Batch person? No.
Bro, no. He's just terrible.
I just felt bad for him. They just didn't write for him. It's like, just collect this check and show up on set.
Well, now you'll be happy to know that all that suck that we just mentioned, you can find at the end of your joysticks when you download Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. If you download it in all its horrible glory, he probably even got 6 different wax skins that you can attach to him while you play.
Don't say that.
I was just saying. No, but let me not take too many shots again, because the game is dope. The game is really fun. And I know we're supposed to, maybe just be grateful that he's in the game, but okay, sure. Moving on.
I mean, does he voice his own character, or is it just the character of Finn?
You know what? Some of the original actors are in it, but I think they redid a whole bunch of the other voice actors. I can't imagine Disney bringing them back in, because I think he's pretty voiced his opinions about how his character is portrayed pretty publicly. So it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Disney was like, we're going to chill out on you for a little bit.
But a lot of the world agreed with him. So maybe they'll rise up and resist the urge to flatline Finn.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd have been better. They just killed him. Hey, so speaking of people that are on a very short leash, The Flash, ladies and gentlemen.
That was a great segue.
Ezra Miller, man, I didn't even really know him as a household name until like kind of just recently, over the past couple of years, and now I can't stop seeing his name in the news. And as a result of some of his actions, Warner Brothers is now deciding to some of his projects that he may be in. And if you're asking, who is Ezra Miller? Ezra Miller is the Flash. You saw him in the Justice League. He was in Batman versus Superman. When it? No, was it? No, shoot, I forgot.
He wasn't in that one. He was in. No, it wasn't that one. Just Justice League. It was just Justice League. I guess it was just Justice. I guess he did make a cameo in.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Like flew in, touched Bruce Wayne, and then left.
Yeah. So there's that. So he's the Flash. So DC and Warner Brothers.
Flash and you'll miss it. His career.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna get a chance to see him wish he had the powers to go back in time like the Flash. Because DC and Warner Brothers executives held an emergency impromptu meeting to discuss Ezra Miller's future with the studio. So, according to a new report from Rolling Stone, this meeting came after Miller's recent arrest in Hawaii for disorderly conduct and harassment. After they yelled at karaoke singers, they lunged at a man playing darts and were yelling obscenities.
And then he followed them back to their hotel room and harassed them, and now has a restraining order.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't the first time that we've heard from him, because Miller's brushes with the law in Hawaii are only the latest in a pattern of concerning behavior from the actor, who was recorded choking and then pushing a fan down in 2020 and in early 2022, threatening to murder a South Carolina chapter of the Ku Klux Klan on Instagram. Listen, I have to admit, when he was like, "Yo, we find Klansmen and we murder these cats," I was like, "Hell yeah, Ezra, do your thing." Not saying that, you should be murdering people. I just felt him in that moment, and I was like, wait a minute, he might be a little bit crazy.
I feel like he's angling for a role in Peacemaker, because he is coming across like vigilante.
Yeah. All right. So he seems to be getting a lot of different chances. I mean, he's pushing fans and threatening to murder Klansmen. And now he's, tackling people, throwing darts and screaming at people doing karaoke. How many more chances is he going to get? Because we're pretty certain they're not going to shelve, the Flash, right? That's not going to happen, right?
No, because it's still in the trailers. It's still in the, you know what I'm saying? They're not, and they have pushed that movie back and pushed that movie back and pushed that movie back. I don't think they can, given that what their next slate is, Black Adam, Aquaman, whatever his next project was going to be. Did we need it? I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's living out his Fantastic Beast life right now. He is still caught up in that character. So
good call. Yeah, and just in case you didn't know, another project he worked on was Fantastic Beast. Yeah, and here's the thing, you got to I would have to really measure my amount of crazy based on what you can do with the character. And when you have the Flash that's dealing with multi-dimensions, and you can easily multi-dimension your ass out and put another version with you and not skip a beat, I would be, a little more reserved on the things I would say on the public stage, because my character is easily replaceable. You know what I'm saying? They just slapped Grant Gustin in,
because Ezra Miller made an appearance on the TV show CW Flash as part of their, I don't even remember, I think it was Crisis. It's part of Crisis. Yeah. So it might be a crisis when we see Grant Gustin on the silver screen. Don't be surprised. He's already a household name, and I'm quite comfortable with him in that position. So, he's done a bad job as Barry Allen. So, let's just transition. Let's make that CW leap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you better chill your ass out, Ezra. What's wrong with you, man? Yo, don't fumble the bag, man. Don't fumble the bag. You're so close.
Somebody needs to handle him.
Yeah.
He needs a hug.
Also, yeah, firm pat on the back. And you also need somebody to be like, yo, chill out, dog.
Yeah. Jason Momoa. Friends, my guy. Man, I need you to show up. I need you to have get him, just have a sit down. What you doing, bro? Imagine Aquaman show up at your door. What you doing? In my state, mind you. You in Hawaii acting a fool?
Acting a damn fool, man. You already had to have you halfway protected. Chill out, man. Yo, but there is some good news around the corner for DC. And that is they are expanding their catalog onto different platforms, and Webtoons are going to be another platform that they're going to be telling their story. And some of the characters are going to be involved in storytelling is going to be one of my favorites, Zatanna. Vixen, who I wasn't as familiar with. And then there's Red Hood, where kind of everybody, he's a bit of a household name now, and Red Hood, especially since the Titans series, live action series. Yeah. So in case you didn't know, Vixen is a story about a young lady who finds superpowers. She's of Ghanaian descent. She ends up getting some superpowers that give her the power of the animal kingdom. Red Hood is an outlaw per se. He's an anti-hero. who was a part of the Wayne family, one of the previous Robins, and now he's hooking up with a lot of other DC bad guys to do good things, if that's kind of it. And then Zatanna, who is I just recently started paying attention to due to DC's absolutely spectacular animation division. She could be fighting time and I guess demons side by side with Constantine. Any of these three projects sound interesting to you?
Anything with John Constantine, I am here for, because ever since the movie where I was introduced to, Keanu Reeves, which I know it wasn't really, I don't know, is it a cult classic? Because I thoroughly loved it. And the guy, Matt, what's his name? I can't think of his last name, who plays Constantine in Legends of Tomorrow, and who also voices John Constantine in a lot of the animated projects. He is just phenomenal. The way he carries John Constantine, I just want to be that dude's friend. You know what I'm saying? You got a problem with the occult, you want to call Constantine. So you want also that animation that you mentioned, Zatanna and Constantine, I think it was Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Zatanna and Constantine had a relationship in this animated movie, and I was so shipping them. I was so here for them. So if I'm there for that movie, because he joins her based on what I read about the breakdown, she, and I know you'll get into that, but John Constantine joins her on this mission and journey that she ultimately finds herself on, and I am there for that. And I would also like to motion that we get them in the live action. Let's bring back the Dark Justice League. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But I need them.
I co-sign on all of that. Constantine, I've seen 3 projects that he's on DC, and 2 of them are DC Dark.
That's what I was trying to think. DC Dark.
Yeah, and DC Dark, from initially, at least the way it was told to me a few years ago when it was on the table, was that they're going to take more adult themes with DC material, and then like really flesh out that side of the universe. I think they only made like 3 films. I think it's either 3 or 2. I don't think it's any more than 3, and we really haven't seen anything since then. But it was really good, and especially the project with that involved Constantine and Zatanna. Big, huge shout out to the chat. Hey, if you happen to be listening to this on live stream, one of the best parts about this show is that we love to talk to the people in the chat room, because, it's all about family. So, let me go ahead and address some of this chat right quick. Defunk said Finn Poe are all snugly right there in the menu screen of the game. I have to actually look at that. And that's probably the best version of Finn you'll get is that intro. Big, huge out to Johnny Randolph, who said, Vixen is dope. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know enough about Vixen. I'm gonna have to jump in there.
She has a talisman that, there have been different iterations. Vixen did have a CW Seed, had a great Vixen animated series that was on for a while. It was on the CW, and then they moved it to CW Seed. So she is this, Black character who is connected to the roots of her people through this talisman, and she's able to channel, like kind of like the 10 Tigers. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that character? I think it was the Phantom. He could like channel something of the 10 Tigers. Yeah. So basically, she can channel any animal. In order to like gain these abilities to help her fight in battle. She's also a big character on Legends of Tomorrow. And that talisman is passed down through different versions of the same actress. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, you definitely got me interested. I'm gonna have to do some digging and try and catch up. Actually,
so yes, Johnny Randy is correct. Vixen is dope.
Okay, and also Johnny Randolph, who's in the chat right now, is also one of our resident DC experts. When it comes to DC, I humbly just shut up and let that man talk.
That's my phone a friend. That is my phone a friend. I even though I think I know some, I'm like, Randy, let me just double check that with you.
Yeah, let me clear this with you before I look like an idiot real quick. Speaking of not looking like an idiot, Anthony Mackie has been really making a lot of moves. He's kind of been flying under the radar and even like bursting out on the big scene on like when you consider things like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But he stays working. I think he's like he's got like a production company that he's piecing together, and of course all of his other various projects. And he's low key, you know, I think the neighborhood kind of like feels him. You know, he don't really say too much out of pocket, even though his script might make him say things that are out of pocket, but that's not really necessarily on him. He's in the news again because yet he's got another project. Amazon Studio lands Anthony Mackie and Priyanka Chopra Jonas, to be specific, for an action thriller called Ending Things. Amazon is like passing out projects and money to any and everybody. How are you feeling about this particular project with two interesting demographics to hold up a project together?
You know, I do think he's an exciting action figure. So I think that he will bring needed charm and charisma to the role. I'm curious to see what she brings because she, you know, I know that she had a TV series on ABC for a while. And she was most recently in The Matrix, even though her character in The Matrix, you know, we had hoped for a lot more from that character. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see what she can do, really. And this is very, from what I read about this project, it seems very Mr. and Mrs. Smith, very True Lies. So I am very interested in seeing what they can do with these two characters and with a property like this. Do they have humor? I know he has humor. At least he has humor with Sebastian Stan as you know, the Winter Soldier. I have not seen her comedy chops. So hopefully she has some fire to him, or maybe she'll be the straight man. I don't know, but I'm here for it. Amazon has been bringing out some fun times, you know?
Yeah. I had slept on Priyanka until I started digging in some of the Bollywood crates a little bit. I just watched one not too long ago. I watched Dawn 2, and she was in it, and like she's an action star. Like it's believable.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I was surprised. I was like, wow, okay, and that's a relatively old movie. So those two coming together, bringing in interesting demographics, because now
I think I saw Dawn 1 with you. And
more than likely, yeah. So I just like the fact that, you know, Amazon is maybe dipping their toes into international waters. Even though Priyanka Chopra is almost like an American household name now, it's a good way of bridging that gap and bringing in more views, because I think that's going to be the future formula. You have to start coming up with content that can have a global impact instead of just turning eyes and heads in the U.S. Let me see what time we're getting. Oh man, we are right there at the finish line, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to kind of like jump into one more thing, and that was just like one quick thing. This is just super quick. And that is, we talk about this a lot of times on this show and other various shows as well. And that is like the love that manga has, and as a result as well, the love that anime has had and the impact that it's had on America. So new sales stats have been showing the explosive growth for comics and manga in America. So in 2021, comics thoroughly exploded in a way that almost defies rationality. Not only was raw circulation up by nearly 70%, more comic materials was sold in 2021 and 2018 and 2019 combined. And if we compare 2021 sales to our first book sale report in 2003, there is more than a 558% growth in the number of copies sold. That's a lot of content being told between the panels. Is this a shock for you, Court, regarding manga's growth and comics growth?
I think we're a little late to the game, because I feel like there was a core group of people that knew about manga, but I think with the success of shows like Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen, I think people have, especially Attack on Titan, because there was such a long lull in between when they could get new episodes, that I think people found their way to the manga in order to like feed that need, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that has probably also with like My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia has been on for a while, and it has been beasting, you know what I mean? So, and it's a really fun show. And I think even the beginning of it with, what was it, like Dragon Ball Z, which was like an anime series, but that was also a manga, right?
It was a manga first, yes.
Yes, it was a manga first. I feel like that fueled with people involving, their kids and like the things that they loved. So I think that helps. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just cool to see people going in between the panels. I remember the shock on people's faces when Zack Snyder was actually painting his visual film panel, frame almost panel for panel when he had his big debut in 300. And also we saw some of that same technique be used in The Watchmen. So there's something artistically just satisfying about turning those comic pages and then seeing that growth spread into other areas such as cinema and also video games as well.
Yeah.
Dang, I want to keep going with this, but we are getting kind of close. I just know that you are a fan of comics. If there was anything before you go, just one more like quick little thing. If you could recommend comics or manga or anything, is there any property or maybe even company in general or manga for somebody that's interested but doesn't even know where to start?
Oh, geez. In terms of manga, Attack on Titan. That's the manga I've been reading. My brother got me. Does Death Note count? Yeah, Death Note is a manga. Yeah, my brother got me that one for Christmas. In terms of comics that I'm reading, I'm still reading Saga because Saga just recently the new issues dropped. I would always encourage people, don't pay attention to the TV show that came out because it was not. I don't recommend this show that I'm talking. But Why the Last Man, the graphic novel, is classic. It's classic. Also, Lock and Key, the series on Netflix. That's a little off the rails. But the comic by Joe Hill is truly, truly stellar. And I would highly. If you just want to start, these are the places that you want to start. I would start with these two comics because I think that is a great way. And it's also I think they're all, everyone I mentioned was Image. And it's not a traditional, it's not like DC or Marvel. You know what I mean? It's Image is pretty big now, but they are still in one of the indie houses. Considered indie, I think. I think they are. I don't know. With the success of Walking Dead, they may not be as indie as they used to be.
That's a very good point, and those are some very, very good recommendations. So you heard it here first. Who I consider one of my resident absolute comic nerds that I love to bounce stuff off of. Hey, that is going to conclude this new segment of our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in. A huge shout out to Courtney. Thank you, Courtney Wright. I know we're gonna have your socials probably in the description, but you can always shout them out real quick for those that are just listening to their podcast. How can they hit you up?
I'm Courtney Scott Wright and on Instagram, and then Court Scott Wright on Twitter. Court CORT.
Okay, and you can of course see.
You can of course see on the Geekish Network. Binge worthy.
Yes. There we go. Hey, like I was saying earlier regarding podcast form, if you are listening to us on your daily walks, or even listening to us in traffic in podcast form, you can catch us on Apple Podcasts. If you're trying to figure that out, you can catch us on Spotify. Listen, we're on pretty much all of the major podcasting platforms. When you do, click and look for us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and of course, give us a thumbs up. And that is for those algorithms. And speaking of massaging the proper algorithms, if you are watching this on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the Geekish Network, what are you doing? Go on and hit the subscription button right now. If you're listening to us on Facebook, massage those algorithms again, give us those thumbs up. It's all about that. That's how we get out there in those digital streets. You can also catch us if you're old school on the Twitch platform as well. We're not on there in this particular format, but we are still on there in a lot of other different formats, such as gaming streams, charity streams, cooking streams, and we got a whole lot more on deck that's going to be right around the corner. You can catch us on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube at the Geekish Network. Big, huge, gigantic props and love to the voice in the sky. Yo, my man, Rodney, one of the co-producers. Defunk as well. He's the one that curates all this news that we absolutely butcher and destroy daily. He comes in here and supports us, and then at the end of the show, he pulls his hair out, and I just want to say thank you so much. We enjoy putting those patches in your head, man. It would be very difficult to do this without you, man. Mad love. Coming around the corner on Monday is going to be Pod Squadron, and of course on Wednesday, next Wednesday coming up, we will have Binge-worthy as well. Big Boss Man didn't get a chance to pop in here.
I thought he was gonna come in hot. I mean, he said he was come in, he's gonna slip in real fast, say hi, how you doing?
Yeah, he's on player holiday. If he's out, it's just because he's out working hard. Yo, Chuck, you are absolutely missed. Go ahead and I think I've wrapped up everything. Yo, voice in the sky, we good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these deuces up, and then we catch you all tomorrow for happy hour, which we get a little bit toasted and maybe talk a little bit reckless, but it will always be a whole lot of fun. That being said, we out of here.
GeekBeast.